In your engineering organization, you have 16,500 people. How do you direct them to becoming more sustainable?
Yeah, we are an architect, engineering and consultancy firm, and it should be pretty easy because the society needs is evident for everyone, and you know 16,500 people, they have probably, let's just assume, 30,000 kids. And all the 30,000 kids, they are actually committed to do a change to this world. And so it should actually be easy. But when you are taking a company which only 6 years ago, actually half of our profit came from oil and gas. Not the revenue, but our profit came from oil and gas. Then it's actually quite a substantial change to do to a company. So when we have to do it, we have set out 4 very, let's say, simple themes. We said decarbonization, as we are discussing now, is critical for the, let's call it the short term. And then, of course, as already discussed in the panels, is that the resilient and livability is going to be the next big theme we have to work on. On the little bit later, longer horizon, we still have time to work on our circularity, and we have time to work on the ecosystem around. But if we fail the 2 first ones, then the last 2 ones become difficult. So when we now take our 16,500 people, then there are 2 things that we really work hard on. And that is, of course, we train what it actually means to have a dialogue around making a difference on sustainability. Secondly, an engineer does not normally speak out as other people when you actually try to influence a debate. They like to be experts, but we are actually pushing our teams to be what we call thought leaders, which is expert with a purpose and a clear belief in what's right. So those are some of the tricks we are rolling out, tons of training to all 16,500. So what actually seemed as an easy one, because society needs it, their kids, all our kids, I have 5 of them, they are the ones, they're the reason why I'm in the business I'm in.
And why are you prioritizing sustainability now? And how is it that you're executing it with your engineers?
I think if you look at why, then it is clear. It's a society need now, which is more clear than ever. We have been building and are involved in 60–70% of all offshore wind farms in the world. So we have been working on that direction for quite a while. But what we also realize is that time is really short. And if we really want to make an impact for the time we are in, then we need to mobilize all directions in that one for now. So I think it's a clear call for change, very short term. I had the pleasure Friday to be part of the summing up of what is it called, the half term between COP26 and COP27 in Denmark, where we basically look through how much have we moved in half a year. And of course that's a very short time, but we don't have a lot of time, so we need to basically mobilize all our resources, and that's what we have realized as a company.
And what makes your organization different then? Because we've heard a lot about different types of economic models and different types of companies, and what makes Ramboll have that long-term perspective and that longer-term investment therefore?
I think first of all, it's maybe a slightly easier for us. We are a foundation-owned company. It doesn't mean that we don't need to make profit, because we actually need to make profit to make sure we make even bigger impact, and because that's the world we live in. That's of course easier for us, but I actually think for a lot of companies it is also becoming easier, and that was the most positive thing for me to see out of COP26, was actually suddenly some of the bigger companies where it has been a political debate, let's call it circus, let's call it whatever we like, for quite a long time, you do see somebody realizing that the businesses has a responsibility into it. So I'm actually very, very positive too that companies want to be part of the change.
And are you seeing collaboration when it comes to sharing data or working in collaboration with competitors. Are you seeing that? Do you have examples of that?
Yeah, I think if we look at the good thing about a big crisis is, of course, that people come together. And that for me is actually the main thing that we are seeing. We are part of building energy islands around the world. I think we are currently planning, what is it, there are 5 or 6 of them. My dear boss, he always reminds me, why have we lost that one? And I just said to him, first of all, we can't do all. Secondly, we need to mobilize with the magnitude of what we have to build and create over a short period of time to avoid the resilience of our society to be as little as possible. Then we actually need to move a lot. And that collaboration between companies are right now more clear, both financial parties to engineering knowledge companies as us.
And in your journey of becoming a more sustainable organization, what competitive advantages has it given you?
We are people business. It's in that regard, I can probably find 1 or 2 intellectual property rights we have noted and we will fight for. But actually, when we are looking at the competitive advantage, that is actually the ability to collaborate with clients, developers, whoever is in the ecosystem of the solutions we are at. And that comes down to how we actually have the right people. So I think when I'm proud of sometimes of the ratings we get from our clients, that is actually that they see us as a joint team. And that for us is in a people business is super critical.
So we've talked about the organization being a foundation, therefore that helps you with this longer term financial planning.
Yeah.
We've talked about some of the collaboration you've done with corporates. Yeah. What do you think is the elephant in the room? What's going to prevent us accelerating this transition to becoming more sustainable?
There is no doubt that I come out of a country which likes taxes and would like to remove things. And there is no doubt that the model of how we actually can funnel and make sure that all governments and all of the things support each other in a good way. In Denmark, we just put a tax on it and then people run a different way very shortly after. And then, of course, I can even, let's say, have the long-term view as a foundation-owned company. So for me, it's a little bit easier. But I think sitting and discussing the challenges among the states and how we actually make the change, just exporting power from Denmark to UK across elsewhere, those things are very difficult.
Great, Michael. Mike, that's all my questions. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.